Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Nandi, and on this channel, I talk about everything finance, career, and business. And that order is very specific because it aligns with what I teach as a financial strategist, and it also aligns with the things that I believe in. Note that finance comes first, and that is for a reason. Finance is the foundation of building a very strong financial strategy. So, in this pillar, I talk about getting your personal finance in order. We cannot do anything without having our money right. If we are serious about building financial freedom and independence, we need to get our money right. Our personal finance is the foundation. Having your money right is knowing where your money is coming from and knowing where your money is going, right? And then understanding within that where your money is going, who your money is going to. So I talk a lot on this channel about building a budget, how to build a budget, resources and tools you can use to build a budget. It's really important that you understand your money because it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep and how well you understand the flow of that money. So at the core of this channel and my personal business as a financial strategist and coach at the Financial Handbook, I teach a lot about money management, specifically values-based money management. Because with money management or having your money right means for me and for you is going to be a little bit different, right? But at the end of the day, what is foundational is that each and every single one of us have to go through the work of setting a budget, tracking your expenses, and really understanding your money flow. The second focus of this group is career. Because our career is the foundational source of our income, especially as we're building side businesses. I have personally gone through a transformation. I will be making a video detailing the personal transformation I've gone through as somebody who used to think that the only way to get things right in finance was by building your own business. I have grown to understand the value of having a really good career that compensates you well and gives you really great benefits and leveraging that career to build your side business. And I also dare to say, as somebody who has tried many different businesses, side hustles, etc., the easiest money I've ever made is a 9-to-5 job money, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you won't have challenges in your 9-to-5 job, but trust me, if you want quick, easy money, it's not an MLM that will give it to you or whatever that get rich quick scam from that ad on Facebook or YouTube AdSense will tell you. It is your 9-to-5 job. So setting the foundation for building a strong career is going to be critical and will be talked about on this channel on an ongoing basis. How do you get the degree that will bring you extra income? Not just bring you extra income, but position you to be seen as an expert so that companies come to you as opposed to you always going to companies. And then how do you command that higher salary? How do you brand yourself in your career? How do you develop interviewing skills that shows an employer that you can bring value to their organization? However stressful you may think a 9-to-5 job is, trust me, having a business is significantly more stressful. So by nurturing our careers, by taking the time to develop the skills that gives us a strong career and take us up a trajectory, a higher trajectory path where you start at the bottom and you keep growing in your career, you're not just growing financially, but you're also adding more skills, you're adding to your network is going to be critical in setting you up for success. And that is a big focus on this channel. The third focus, which is probably the reason why we're all here, that is we want financial independence and financial freedom. Financial independence meaning that we can make money on our term And financial freedom, meaning that we have enough money that we do not need to depend on other people or a 9-to-5 job in order for us to financially take care of our families. I promise I'm not speaking out of both sides of my mouth. The goal is financial freedom and independence. However, the path to get to financial freedom and independence is leveraging our 9-to-5 job so that while our 9-to-5 job is giving us that steady paycheck, we are building businesses on the side. I'm not saying anything novel here. I'm not giving you anything that you haven't heard about on any other channel, I'm sure. What I have seen in the past 4 years, especially post-pandemic, was a lot of people bad-mouthing having a 9-to-5 job. So we're stuck constantly between the people who tell us, for your 9-to-5 job, just go to work, do your job, and put your head down, and the people who are doing get-rich-quick schemes and are saying that a 9-to-5 job is a scam. On this channel, we combine both. We leverage our full-time job to build side businesses that give us that long-term financial freedom and independence. And the reason why we do need our 9-to-5 and to go through that leveraging process is because a business is not easy. Building a business is hard, right? It requires time for you to really be at a place where you are stable in your business. A real business requires a lot of research. And often what's happening online is that there's a lot of, right, just create a low content book on KDP. Well, 5 million other people from here to India to South Africa to Jakarta to Dubai are doing the same thing. The barrier of entry is very low. The competition is really high, making your likelihood of success very low. The goal here is not to just get you to build side hustles, although I use that word a lot, right? Because I do think that you do need to hustle, but you're hustling your way into a bona fide business, one that has real stability, real structure, a real business plan, right? A real clientele. So even if you're doing something that's online based, you're hopefully building something that has a little bit more longevity than a side hustle would. Now, side hustles are critical on your path, right? I use side hustles quite often when I'm low on cash and I just need an extra boost of my income for that particular month. Side hustles today in the 21st century, we're so blessed with so many of them. And we can do them quickly like that. I can hop on Poshmark, sell a few things in my house, and make an extra $150 to $250 a month. Easy. I can sign up for Spark Delivery. There's a Walmart about 2 miles away from me here. And I can start delivering and make money like that. But none of these things is anything to write home about, right? That's why to me, these are true side hustles. If you were somebody who had a background in, let's say, software engineering, and you were to set up a website where you offer consultations to businesses as a software engineer, that's a real bona fide viable business that can have a real business plan, that can have a real target customer or clientele. But it will take time for you to build that clientele. As a financial strategist, I've always loved money. I've loved talking about money. And in my own personal life, I've been very strategic in maneuvering the financial landscape so that I can grow my own net worth. I was surprised at how many women either didn't intuitively understand it, never even thought about it, or just didn't know how to get started. So I am in the process of writing a book called The Financial Handbook that I use as a workbook to help a lot of my clients go from pretty much never thinking about money to making financial independence through money management the cornerstone of their personal finance. I teach them everything they need to know about personal finance. Most importantly, how to just be more conscientious of their money and how to budget. And then at the same time, I also teach them the importance of both investing and building a business. right? For each and every single one of us, that idea of building a business and investing is very personal. So this is why in this book, I start with education. Because most of the time, you cannot take action on something you do not understand. And to me, what I found to be very shocking was that I just thought everybody understood it, everybody was doing it. But unfortunately, for a lot of women, especially as a woman of color and a woman of African descent, almost nobody thinks of us when it comes to finance and investing. And this book is super easy. It's 1 week at a time. It's a 12-week blueprint that will take you from mindset all the way to understanding the basics of investing and how you can get started today, right now. So why in the world am I even qualified to be having these conversations? So here is my quick personal story. From the time I was very young, I've always been a hustler. And I do use that word in its true definitive way. I've never been somebody who sat down. I've always had money on my mind. And it's interesting because for a very long time, I felt uncomfortable being honest about the fact that I'm a money girl. I like making money. I like talking about money. I like sharing everything that has to do with money. But I grew up with some sort of stigma with it. So I never really talked about it, but I always acted and did it. I remember being around 14 years old, looking at my sister, who was 2 years older than me, go get her real big girl job, right? It wasn't a big girl job, but she was working as a telemarketer at the age of 16 in our local community. She had a car at the time, she would get in her car, go to her job. Boy, to me, that was everything. Amongst the things that I value outside of money, independence is a close second. So to me, she had everything. And I remember I was just sitting there waiting. I'm like, as soon as I turn 16, I am making a beehive for that company because I want what she has. And along the way, I was doing some babysitting, right? But to me, that wasn't real money. Lo and behold, the day literally I turned 16, I think it was on a Friday, I remember walking to that place, filling out the application and asking for a job. And I have worked almost 1 or 2 jobs, sometimes even 3, ever since. At the age of 17, I started selling Avon, right? Because I always had this allure that a full-time job, no. That's just a temporary thing that I'm doing. I'm going to build my own business. So I started selling Avon. Fast forward, this is around 2004-ish, 2004, 2005. Fast forward in 2017, I graduated college with a bachelor's degree in biochemistry, a minor in both zoology, and a few credits away from a minor in business. PChem kicked my butt. I was supposed to stay to finish my minor in business, but after taking physical chemistry, I was done with school. I was like, I'm done. I can get my bachelor's degree. I'm going to get out of here. Along with that bachelor's and almost 2 minors, I also got 2 licenses. I got my massage therapy license and my esthetician's license. Yes, I am a hustler through and through. While going to college, I also worked as a massage therapist and an esthetician. So time passes by. In 2017, I buy my first real estate property. In 2017, after working a couple of jobs in corporate America, corporate settings, smaller companies, but nevertheless corporate settings, I bought my first property and I caught the bug. And at the time, I was attending almost every seminar somebody could attend on money management. And this was the continuation of what started right after high school. When I did the MLM from Avon, eventually I went to Arbonne. Everything in those MLMs is about teaching you to be a businesswoman, right? Teaching and learning is a big part of that environment. And of all the toxicities of MLM, what it did for me is that it got me to start thinking in terms of being a businesswoman. I really bought the nonsense, you guys. In my head, I was like, yeah, I'm a businesswoman. A job is only an option. It's not really, right? I'm just getting a job as a temporary thing, right? But I'm a businesswoman, and I really believe that. There really wasn't a book about business that I did not read. And if I opened my phone today, I have on Audible, I have about 200 books on business, anywhere from real estate to MLM to positivity mindset to marketing to, you name it. I really started absorbing everything that is business, real estate. How much can I cram into this head? So I'm now going to start a story around 2017 because that's when things shifted for me. I went from a job where I was making about $60-ish thousand to a job where I was making about $75-ish thousand. And to me, that was real money. Not only was I making more in terms of financially, but I also had significantly more benefits. 2 years after this 2017, I went for my MBA and I got my MBA in marketing. And I also started a second master's degree in pharmaceutical science. So now I not only had a career that was thriving because I was using this education to leverage into more money, into higher paying jobs, but I also started thinking, what if I bought another property? In 2017, I was making around $60,000. In 2018, I finished my MBA that I kind of used to leverage into this higher paying job that took me from 60 to about 75,000 a year, without including bonuses and stuff like that. That was just base salary. And then in 2019, I buy a house. I'm moving to a better paying job. When I buy the house in 2019, something in my head shifted. For the first time, it dawned on me that, wait, my success, especially in real estate, which to me at the time, real estate was the only and best form of investment there exists, right? I realized that, wow, I can actually, I was able to acquire a second property as a early 30s. I was barely 30 years old at the time. I was like, this is all because of my full-time job. So for the first time in my life, I stopped seeing my full-time job as something to discard, but more as something that could actually give me opportunities in the future, especially in terms of real estate. So I went all in for both real estate and my career. 3 years after that, I went from $75K to $120,000. And I bought a third property, and now this property had 3 units. So I went from having 2 doors to 5 doors. And I was still in my early 30s. I was like, this is incredible. And 2 years from that, I went into the double 6 figures because at this point, I had completed my second master's degree. So now I was Nandy with 2 graduate degrees. And at the time, because I had hopped from a few jobs within a few years, I became very good at articulating my value to an employer. And now every job I went to, I wasn't just going to collect a paycheck. I was being very intentional as to what I wanted to learn on that job and how I could translate what I was learning into the next employer. And to be honest with you, now that I look back, I didn't have a strategy that, you know what, I'm going to job hop from here to there to there. It just kind of happened. I've become very good at seeing opportunities and taking advantage of opportunities in front of me. And when it comes to your career, that is exactly what you have to do. Very early on, I started cultivating a presence on LinkedIn. I started connecting with a lot of people. I have about 5,000 connections on my LinkedIn. 3,500, 3,500, not 5,000. 3,500 connections on my LinkedIn. And also, something else that I was doing was cultivating relationships with recruiters. Something else that when I got into the industry, a lot of the older people would be like, yeah, recruiters are horrible people. You shouldn't be talking to them. You can't trust them. While all of that was true, I still used recruiters to get really great jobs. Anytime I wanted to job hop for whatever reason, because I wanted more money or things just weren't working out for me, I had a long list of recruiters and I would write them, right? I became very good at articulating well-written emails. Here is who I am. Here's the value that I bring. Here's my background, my education, my resume is attached. Here is specifically what I'm looking for. And that really worked out for me. And I became very successful at it. Today, I sit at a pretty penny in terms of career income. For the first time in my life, I can sit down because I make really good money. I have a really good career in terms of the company I work for, the role, and the income that I get paid. And all of that were a series of strategies from things that I learned through books, through watching different coaches on social media, hiring coaches myself. That's another key to my success. I have hired quite a few finance and career coaches. I currently have one right now who's amazing. And I'm also speaking from my own personal experience. So that's from a career side. Now let's talk about real estate and business. I have now built a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. Most recently, I made my acquisition actually in 2024, where I purchased a farm that had multiple properties on it. And one of the properties is used as an Airbnb. So now I officially have 7 doors, but they're all high value. So even though I only have 5 properties, I have a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And with real estate, I've done various strategies. I've done both short-term rentals, mid-term rentals where I rent to travel nurses, and I've also done long-term rentals. So I understand that side of the business very well, and I've stabilized in that business. I'm on track to bringing in about double 6 figures next year. Fingers crossed, depending on how well I do on Airbnb. But I know for sure that I will be bringing in a consistent about 150-ish K. But if things go well, I could be in that 200K mark. And with that said, I am now taking all of that knowledge and helping to empower other women to do the same thing. There is no reason why today you are not making more money than you're making right now. There's absolutely no reason why you are not thriving at work and in your business. And along the way, what I didn't share were all of the different side hustles that I tried and failed at. So, right? So along with my success, I have so many failures. It boggles the mind. And with each one of those failures, here is the key takeaway. My 9-to-5 has been the easiest money that I could have gotten. Let me tell you something. Real estate has been hard. And my debt confession video will show you just how hard real estate is. All right? $60,000 in credit card debt because of all of the different things that went wrong with my rental properties. No regrets. No regrets. It's part of the journey. If you are going to be an entrepreneur and you're scared of debt and you're scared of challenges, you're not going to make it. That's the reality of the business. But guess what? I also know that those $60,000 in credit card debt, I can pay them off in 2 years or less, right? Because I have a big shovel to go with my big debt. So on this channel, I am not coming here talking to you guys about things that I personally haven't lived. That's why this channel is called Lessons Lived. I have lived all of the lessons. I have lived the challenges. I continue to live them, and I expose all of my challenges on this channel. I'm very transparent because I'm hoping that it helps somebody. A lot of the people on YouTube are making talking head videos where they're educating you on something they either read. But there's something powerful when somebody takes you along on their journey and really shows you behind the scenes, the challenges that they've gone through, that they are going through, and that they're overcoming. So here is my mindset today and the reason why this channel and my Facebook community exists. My mindset today is to nurture my 9-to-5 until my 5-to-9 can become my main and primary business. And that 5-to-9 has built me enough asset and stability to have a business that will last and stand on its own for about 5 to 10 years, because most businesses have about a 5 to 10 year shelf life unless you're constantly innovating. But at the end of the day, what I'm really looking for is financial freedom. It's to have enough in my nest egg that even my 5 to 9 is not really a strenuous job that requires my constant attention. So by working hard in the next 5 to 10 years, I can build the foundational principles that will allow me to enjoy more of my daily life as opposed to just always grinding and hustling. This journey keeps you on your toes. It's not easy, but it's so worth it. Thank you guys for joining me on another video. As always, if you like what you're seeing here, please leave a comment, subscribe, and do join me and all of the other ladies in our community. We'll be more than happy to have you, your knowledge, your perspective, and would love to support you on your own personal journey to financial wealth, freedom, and long-term stability.